used to feel so high, but now I'm low, low, low. A feeling I can't hide, and it drives me slow. But I won't let it take me down. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I won't fade away. I used to feel so young, but now I'm old, old, old. I couldn't be more wrong, thinking I'll stay as bold. And I won't let it take me down. Forever hold my ground. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I'll be holding on and on and on and on. Oh, I'll be holding on and on and on and on. I won't fade away. I keep holding on.
All good for today.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful
Thursday.
Thursday, right?
Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
Got another pot of coffee brewing in the
Another pot of
cafe.
I tell you.
How many pots do we go through a day
About
of
12.
coffee? Not that many.
Yeah,
4 to 5 for sure.
About 12.
Where's Nikki?
Nikki.
Where's my coffee
Nikki is
purveyor?
our coffee connection.
Our coffee
She
connection.
says only once a month.
I know.
I think it passed. Welcome to, what is it, June?
June 1st.
I can't believe half the year.
Today is June
is
1st.
gone.
It's National Do Something Nice for Someone Day.
I hope you listen.
I hope you listen in. Because after our morning show,
I got tire tracks on my back. I hope you're listening.
who's ever watched our morning show, the rest of the morning was a continuation into this.
No, this is something else.
Yeah?
And I just told Veronica should have been here. She said, "Oh, you didn't invite me." That isn't true. You're all invited to come on down and meet everybody in the studio. Don't wait for an invitation because so many people are texting me and talking to me all at the same time. I can't get to everybody. So here's an open invite. You're always welcome, and our door is open. More people coming in. All right.
You know what this month is?
This month is July. June.
June.
What are we in,
It's our 7-year anniversary this month. since that picture up there in our loft was taken. So June 21st is our official anniversary date. So we are opening this up. We're going to do some sort of party networking event. FYI, June 21st, we're going to be doing some sort of party networking event. Hopefully J&D Cakes will be providing our cake as they always do. We're going to talk to Danielle and put something together for that.
June 21st is the Wednesday.
Okay.
I got a gig on Wednesday. Wow. All right, June 21st. How many years?
7.
Holy smokes.
If you want to make a date, you're going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're all welcome.
But it's funny because our first year anniversary party, we shared an event with her as well
Did
at
we?
Juniors.
And you know it happens every 7 years.
Every 7
It's called
years.
the 7-year itch.
No, you know what it is? New planets are in alignment.
Oh, here we go.
You know what
Oh,
today
Coach,
is?
don't-
Today
please
is
don't go down that-
actually.
Please, don't go down that road.
Today is, I was told by my planetary guru, but now I've got a house full of planetary gurus here in spirituality,
Oh, Lord.
that I've got this random question. Did the cafe start in June of 2016 by any random chance? And I said, yes, June 21st is actually our official anniversary.
How do you remember that?
Because our 1-year anniversary party was June 21st with the other person who you're doing her anniversary party again at Juniors, right? We shared it with Sarah Spiritual, and it's in
It
my
was the same
calendar.
day?
It was the same day. So I can look back on my calendar. I said, why? They said, whatever planets were in alignment with luck and prosperity and your true node was June 20th of 2016. And they have not been in full alignment again until today.
I could tell because
So
I felt
today,
very on the line.
luck and destiny,
I'd be so
boom.
on the line.
Today is luck and destiny coming to fruition. And look at this studio, right? I can't even deny what the angels brought
It's
in today
happening.
because I don't even know who's here
We
today.
gotta get the interview in today because there are stories here. They have stories. They have stories.
I think this is the first time that we're actually both flying without business cards, but we're going to roll.
We're gonna let them introduce themselves and let them all negotiate.
So a lot of people we have in studio again. Our crew went out to the Networking Beast event last week and met some great contacts. And they met Brenda Carter, and she's in the back with the ladies. We're not segregated by any. I feel like I'm watching The View back there. Right, this is the cafe view. And then she brought in her partner, Coach Kev, and he brought in his lovely wife. And we continue to grow. And we've got Mr. Champagne in the house.
Mr. Champagne, because he's gonna drink the bubbly when the Mets
There
win
you
the World
go.
Series.
They can't find it.
They can't find it. I'll
All
send
right,
it again.
they'll find it again. So let's start with Coach Kev, if you're good, because I know you have
Time
a
crunch.
time crunch to move on. Should I start with Brenda making the introductions, or
You can start with Brenda.
Brenda? Do you have a mic?
Brenda, where's your mic? Make sure you hold it up now.
I am.
Well,
Well, Coach Kev is our fearless leader, a husband, an amazing person that has been my push to guide me into what we're getting ready to present to you, and I'll let him lead into what we're getting ready to show you.
And tell them a little bit about yourself, Brenda.
Well, okay. Well, I am a financial literacy advocate, and the services that I provide is a legal plan. And that legal plan is with credit repair and debt resolutions. I am here looking for customers or business partners that be interested in either Notes University or our loan officer services products that we have.
Freddie used to be a loan officer back in the day. I don't know. I always
I
make
was.
him more jobs than he actually ever had. I don't know what.
I gotta tell you, I was a loan officer because my firstborn Freddie was born.
Wow.
And I went over the bridge, the Whitestone Bridge, because, you know, it was Gio, the second kid, over the Whitestone Bridge, and I had just lost my job. But because the wife was having the baby, I didn't think, and I had enough money to cross the bridge. I did not have enough money to get back over. So there was a gentleman that I met by the name of Tony Miller, and he rest in peace. And Tony said to me in the lobby, he says, "What are you doing? What's going on? Congratulations." And I told him my story. And he gave me enough money for lunch and to get over the bridge. And I became a loan officer that day.
Wow.
And it changed my life. It changed my life. So when they call you coach, they used to say to me, because I wrote business without even, you had to take a test in the day to become a loan officer. I don't know if they still do.
Still do.
I wrote business without taking the test.
Wow.
I wrote 6 deals without taking the test. I came in a week and I said, here, And he said, and I had checks and deposits, all this stuff. He says, "Are you insane?" Well, pretty much. So what you guys do, I did for 17 years, and man, it was a bunch of fun. So I'm dying to hear what you got going on, because she's lit up, and I got to hear what you do.
So man, Brenda, thank you. Incredible introduction. I wish she was there when I met my wife. I think I would have closed the deal a lot sooner. But yeah, so we do a lot of great things when it comes to where should I be looking?
Camera us.
Camera?
We do a lot of great things in the community, but let's kind of go back. How do we get to the situation? So I remember being broke, busted, and disgusted. I remember my credit being horrible. Everything literally was in my wife's name. Cell phone, rooms to go furniture. My old Hyundai Elantra was all in her name. I always made great money, but I was never taught financial literacy. I was never taught the power of credit until I met a mentor, just like Freddie, and he told me something. He said, cash is king, but he said credit is power. So we started to really understand that I needed to be a product of the product. So I started working on my own credit after my wife added me on her credit, right, as an authorized user. And then I committed my life to helping as many people as I can, not only understand credit, but financial literacy. And it changed not only my life, but I get a chance to empower so many other people, and that's why they call me a coach. So I'm a credit coach, financial coach. I'm also a certified life coach. But I believe that in America, when my mom came here from Jamaica, she came for the American dream, but she had no idea you need credit to survive in America and thrive. And I go all over the country talking about credit, talking about investing, and talking about wealth building. And you cannot, in my opinion, build wealth without having credit to leverage, as well as being a homeowner. So credit is just the appetizer that we help people understand with the financial literacy. But home ownership is not the end road, but that's where we want to take individuals, and then we teach them investing, how to now level up and double and triple up. When my kids leave our house at 18, 19, or 20, whenever they leave, they're leaving with a property. They're not leaving to go rent for someone. So we're teaching them how to be bosses, but we travel all over. I love the fact that we're even here because the Brooklyn Cafe is a movie all in itself. But I'm just grateful because everything that we're doing to help individuals all over the country is important. But I think at the end of the day, holding the information to ourselves is cute. We have to go out in the public. We have to go out, meet it. We have to connect with other leaders and spread the word because, again, cash is king, but credit is power. So that's a long intro, but I'm committed to this because after meeting all of you today, we're nowhere near done from making an impact. But I'm just grateful and happy to be here.
You know, it's interesting because it's a totally different perspective on what you need, because cash is king, right? Everyone says, put it under your mattress, you need the cash. My grandfather always said that. Credit is, you're never supposed to have credit card debt. We're supposed to be debt-free. People want to pay off their mortgages. So this is everything that our generation was told. Not that I did it. I'm ready to raise my debt ceiling. I told you that yesterday. I'm going with the government, raising it.
Facts.
But
That's true, dog.
right? But so this is a different perspective. People can't afford houses, or so they think, but rent is ridiculously expensive for everybody, especially for this age group, for our kids' age group, right? They're all renting.
Yeah, but the bottom line here is knowledge is power.
So that's the difference. It's the financial literacy piece that you have.
That's the key.
That's
Correct.
different now than it was
Applied
before.
knowledge,
Apply
Freddie,
knowledge.
because a lot of people, I'm sure in your day with loan origination, you gave them the knowledge, but if they didn't apply it,
That's what.
it's
Do
useless.
you know I was the first guy in my family that bought a house?
Wow.
People were like, "What? You what? A what?"
That's foreign to
And I'm
them.
gonna tell you, I bought it in Pelham Bay, where Latino Freddie no fit in too well. Okay, and I bought bought a house for $120,000. I stole the sign to the realtor. I took it home because I didn't want nobody else to buy this house.
I love it. I love it.
And she says, "You have my sign." I go, "Yes." "What do you want?" "I want that house. That house is in contract. I don't care. I want," and I made it happen.
And what'd you sell that house for?
I bought it for $120,000 FHA loan. I sold it for $895,000.
Ooh.
And I redid it from top to bottom. And I probably would have gotten more if I would have waited.
Of course.
But I gotta tell you, it is the knowledge, how many people, you guys must feel great when somebody can finally realize that they can own a house because their credit has been repaired. I was telling your wife, you know, credit unions, you guys work with that. I could not touch them. See,
Why?
it was because their rates are small. Okay, they ain't got
Yes.
no junk fees. Oops, did I say that out loud? Because you educate people on how to do one house lease to two, that lease to four, lease to your kids, lease to your grandmother, lease to everybody owning a house, which is what I did for my family.
That's the investing side. Man,
I-
Freddie,
I'ma
your
tell
wealth
you.
and knowledge.
But I gotta tell you, the look on people's faces when they buy a home, it changes their life.
And you change their belief, because most people don't believe that they can even purchase a home, especially like right now. I did a presentation at a church last night, and I was explaining to them. One of the church members came up to me and she said, "Well, Coach, when is there a good time to buy?" And my response is, when you can.
But
You
people
buy
don't
when
think
you
they
can.
People never think they can.
So you put them in position, and then if we have any fact checkers here, I want you to think about this and researchers. In the 1980s, the interest rates was double digits.
Yep. I bought my first at 13%, baby.
So people right now are going bonkers, and they don't really realize the history of timing. So when you're in position to purchase a home, whether you have to do what I did, which is start from scratch. I needed to learn how to report I didn't even know you could report your rent on your credit report to boost your credit. I did that. I got a secure credit card. I had my wife add me as an authorized user, even the Victoria's Secret card. I just didn't use it. But my point is, I needed to do everything I needed to be able to put myself in position to purchase the house. And I'll never forget, I think we closed in like 27 days or less. When we walked in the house, I told the realtor, I said, "This is my house." And then I started walking around as if it was my house, and similar to the sign. And the realtor goes to my wife, "Your husband said this is his house." When we were closing, I said, "Didn't I tell you this was my house?" So it was possible, but I had to get myself in position
But
to
you did that in 27 days?
27 days.
You could repair your credit enough?
No. Well, I was already working on my credit. The closing was in 27 days.
Which is
That was how
amazing.
long did it take? Like 2 years. That was 2 years. She already had a.
She was
I
good.
think she had an 806 credit score. So
Ooh.
I was a loser, holding us back. I always made income. It was just. I never knew the importance. My mom came in from Jamaica. She didn't know about credit.
Well, with
so-
your program then, let's talk about your program.
Okay.
You educate, you help people repair their credit.
Correct. And also help them resolve their debt. So the program I love. So what I love about the program is that when a client signs up on a program, two things happen. They're going to either go through door number 1 or door number 2. The first door, we get a chance to see, do we need to start doing debt validations? Majority of things that's on the individual credit report is connected to debt. So now we got to attack the debt and the negative marks on a credit report. So let's say we have to start writing letters. You guys have all heard of that. The attorneys write the letters, so it's great. Or they can go to door number 2, meaning they need an attorney right now. Maybe they have wage garnishment, maybe they're facing eviction. And then let's say we move past that. So now we're starting the process of dispute. What I love about the program is that the actual monthly membership payments is a positive trade line to improve their credit. Second thing I love about it is we all paying FP&L, right? We're in Florida, and it's going to get brutal during the summertime, believe it or not. So with our membership, you can actually report your utilities, your internet, your water, your cell phone, those things to help you also improve your credit, which is part of the membership. and it's also a positive trade line.
But is it used as a trade line when you get your mortgage?
It is. It's on your credit report.
Yes. So
Yeah.
they use it as
A
one
positive
of the-
trade line to help you get closer to home ownership. And then two other tools we have, and I needed both. I mentioned earlier about the rent reporting. Again, if I speak to Brenda and I talk to a lot of realtors. If I ask 10 realtors, did you know that your clients can report their rental payments on a credit report? 9 or 10 out of 10 say no. So now they're not educated enough to help their client be in position to purchase a home. So we work with realtors to help their clients get to the closing table faster. And then the second positive trade line is a secure credit card. Now, my credit was so bad, I was getting pre-decline offers. There's no way you can build credit if no one would give you opportunity to get a credit card. So I had to educate myself on what is a secure credit card. Then I had to learn you have to put your money on the card, get the card in the mail, then you use it like a regular credit card, but I treat it like an American Express. There's no minimum payment. There's no 30%. Just pay it all off, and that'll help you boost your credit literally.
But you gotta pay it.
organically. Yeah, you got to pay it.
Gotta pay it.
So my credit was horrible because I did not pay things back in the day.
And what
So-
about people who have filed bankruptcy?
So you got chapter 13, you got chapter 7. In certain situations with our credit program, the bankruptcy could get removed. It has to be discharged. Now, it's going to take a little heftiness with that, and also sometimes they may also need an attorney, depending on the severity of their situation.
Now they just passed a law because bankruptcy is supposed to be discharged after 7 to 13 years, and they just passed a law that they want them off the books because it says discharged on it, so they don't hold it against you, but it's there, like to stick it in your ear one more time. But in January they passed a law that boof, it has to come off the credit score.
Well,
so that's a
7 to
new thing.
13
We're gonna wait
years
for that.
Is a big range. Is it 7 years? Is it 9? Is it 11? Is it 13? It's
They
just
told
when
me
choose to?
7 and 13 years later it was still there.
Yeah. Well, sometimes too, not just with the bankruptcy, with negative and derogatory items, you have, let's say you started a card off with let me not say American Express. Let's just say Capital One, and then you default. And then Capital One, after them reaching out to you trying to collect, they're going to then send you to collections. So now it goes to a third party. So now you got Freddie's debt collector calling you looking for the money. That's a good thing because now you can actually dispute it with a third party, which helps you remove it off your credit faster. Because when they purchase these debts, they purchase pennies on the dollars. But that's the loophole that we leverage to help it get removed off the client's
So
credit
how much
report.
is this membership? Because it sounds, you
The
and I had a
membership is insane.
conversation the other day, and you said, I don't want any more credit cards. I don't believe in credit cards. I don't want any more credit cards.
Because I had
But don't close them though,
I had
Freddie.
an 806 at one time too. Do you know I bought cars with credit cards?
Yes.
I used to go in and boom, here's my black car. Boom, I used to walk out.
So does this change your mindset of maybe you want a credit card?
No,
Well, if he already, meaning 0 credit cards, Freddie?
I don't have any.
Well, if he have other trade lines, like you can have a car payment,
I got
you
a
can
car
have
payment.
a mortgage, you can have other
Yes.
things to help you build
Yes,
credit
I don't
without
trust
having the
me.
credit.
Wait, I have 56
See?
cards, man.
See? But Don, he's telling you
56 cards.
the
I
challenge.
put them on the table, and they used to say, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
Everybody, and I used to pay them all until you couldn't.
Yeah.
So I trust you, because I know you pay it before the bill comes. Me?
So and that's let me take you to that point. So one good thing that I want you to, if you didn't hear anything I said, take this. So when you have your credit card, there's 2 dates you need to look for, right? There's a reporting date, right? And there's a statement date. So there's a date where your actual credit card company reports to the credit bureaus. It's different from your due date that you paid. You always hear people say, oh, make 2 payments. If you just wipe it all out, you're good. So as you're building your credit, just treat it like an American Express. I had one of the church members, he said, Coach, my credit score went up. You gave me the idea, and I said, this is all online, to pay down my credit. He had a utilization issue. He was going to just stop. I said, bro, just pay it. Pay it. Your credit score is going to go up. Literally, his credit score went up. He was losing his mind. But it's just a science. But the cost for the program is just $149 down, $89 a month. It's no contract. You won't be signing up with me directly. I'm afford all my interests, and you could reach out to Brenda, and you can sign up with her. Currently, I have about 1,600 members and advocates all over the country. I'm not saying I don't need money, but if it wasn't for Brenda Carter, I would not be here. And I got a chance to meet some incredible people. I'm definitely coming back here as often as I can because the Brooklyn Cafe to me is a hidden gem that most people have no idea about. This is just a beautiful environment, and the energy here, in my opinion, is just is second to none. But the biggest challenge I hear when someone says, "Okay, coach, I can do 150, but why do I have to pay $89 a month?" And my rebuttal to them is always the same. Did you know your $89 a month is a positive trade line, and it helps you improve your credit? After I tell them that, now it's a decision. You can either get enrolled or not. I'm never going to be the one to try to convince a person. But I want to share with you, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, if you want to purchase a home, it's possible. If you want to improve your credit, it's possible. The lowest credit score I've seen in the 300s. And I'm not talking about the movie. And I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to put yourself in a position, you can.
Yeah, you too, G-Man.
So anyway, I could go on and on. I'm very passionate about this.
I guess we're going to give out Brenda's information before I go to commercial break.
So hold on. Brenda, pick up your mic, Brenda, because I want to know how you fit in. I get Coach. I get where they come from. Trust you me, I do. I want to know how you fit into the equation.
Well, like Coach Kev, I was in the same situation. I was a single mom. I was on welfare. I was in all these other government assistance. But after I saw how bad, I made some poor choices when I was young with credit cards. And it took me 20 years to clean up my credit. And it took me 3 years to get a credit card with a credit union, borrow money from them, build that credit, pay everything off, and then purchase a home. I became, for the first time, a homeowner at 46 years of age. And that was 3 years ago.
Wow, congratulations.
Congratulations. Now, anybody can join a credit union bank, or do you have to work for a company that endorses the bank?
You can join any credit union.
Anybody?
You can join any credit union.
Okay.
But what we offer, no one's doing it. We literally are a one-stop shop. Literally a one-stop shop. From beginning to end, we walk you through everything.
You'll help clean up credit report. If there's a dispute, your company's like, all right, let's go into this.
The customer will not ever have to send out a dispute letter. That's what we have our paralegals for. They take care of that.
Think how much stress that alleviates. I was
You're telling me?
You know. So I was when
telling
I was in college, someone opened up a credit card under my name.
What?
Different address. I didn't know, right? I was in college, bills were going to my parents' house. I didn't know any of this till the debt collector started calling and said, we sent the bill statement to, it was like Key West or something. They didn't believe us, not me, someone got a hold of it. This went on and on, but every time that phone rang, and I don't even know how it ended up getting disputed. I'm assuming my parents somehow must have taken care of it. But the stress of those phone calls, and you went through it knowingly what you did, to know that now you've got a third party that's got your best interest at heart, and they're taking all of that off your plate, is a huge stress relief.
Absolutely.
Right?
And then when you fix the credit, then do you guys do the loan origination, or do you give it to somebody else?
Yes. So we also have another component. That's what I'm saying. We take it from start to finish. As Brenda said, we're also looking for advocates to come on as loan originators, but we also can help them originate the loan. And what I love about that is you already have a relationship with them.
That's
for
why I was
improving
asking.
their credit. So it's not like you have to sell them or do all this. They rather go with you. And what I love about the way we help individuals on the loan side, so it's twofold. One, the actual client is putting themselves in a position where you don't have a lot of fees, right? As a loan originator, you can control
Yes.
how much money you make based off fees,
Yes.
which in my opinion will hurt your client. But because we have so much volume, we don't have to hit them over the head with those percentages. So once an individual's good for the credit side, and I want to share with you, an individual can get approved in the 6s. I love to help them get in the 7s and 8s.
Better
Why?
rates.
Because the higher your credit score,
right.
the lower your interest rate, the
End of
lower your
that.
interest rate, the lower your payments.
That's right.
Most people do the opposite. Oh, let me just get you a refinance later. No. So we want to put them in position. So as the advocate, and you also can be a loan originator, we help them with the loan, and we have a loan buddy at the credit union. And what makes our loan originating different from others? Well, one, we can help someone in all 50 states. That changes the game. Versus when you're a loan originator, you're here in Florida or New York.
New York.
So then Freddie would have to get a license in every state he wanted to do business in, which is
New York.
insane. It's like
All
New
right,
York.
Brendan, you're going to stay with us?
Yes.
Coach, you gotta head out, right?
So yeah, I'll leave in a second.
Okay, we got to go to commercial break though.
Perfect.
More to come on the other side of this break. Give us a call with any questions. 888-994-4995, Studio A. We'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
It's hilarious because you know the change that was made, which is why it's so funny.
Yes, sir. Funny,
National
funny.
Say Something Nice Day.
Funny, funny, funny. How are you? How you doing?
How you doing? A lot of information.
Memory lane.
You know what they say. Today is the day about your luck meets your destiny.
Well, it's funny you said that because you told me that during the weekend, and voila, it happened.
See that? It's
And
one
we
of
have
those.
another new guest in studio.
I know.
First time.
Gannon Champagne. I love the name.
Thank you.
Is it champagne as if it's champagne?
It is champagne.
Is that your real name?
That is. I'm from Louisiana. So I have that Cajun French in me, so that's the reason for the champagne, for the last name.
Did you see the story? There was a woman who was playing on the streets in New Orleans. They did a whole special on her on CBS Sunday Morning back in January. And she said all she ever wanted to do was play at the Kennedy Center or Carnegie Hall. The day after that aired in January, the people at Kennedy Center, their phones blew up and said, you have to listen to this woman. She only wants to play. This is her bucket list. And they brought her in.
That's an awesome story.
They brought her in and they said, you got to come back. And she blew it up. And she says, heck, I should have asked for $1 million.
So I want to be on NBC on The Tonight Show.
Done. Let's do it.
There you go.
Make the
You
draw.
got the magic of New Orleans with you.
There you go.
Mr. Magic.
What brings you to Florida?
I've been here 12 years. I moved here 12 years ago from Louisiana. Wanted to move near the beach, so here I am, 12 years later still. So
You like it?
I do. You miss home. You miss the food. Like Louisiana, we're known for our food and our Cajun cuisine and all that. So I do miss that. A little plug. There's a place called Shuck and Dive in Fort Lauderdale. I go to a good bit. It has Louisiana food, so that's kind of my regular spots. Is
Go
Shuck and
to
Dive.
another broken egg.
Say that again?
Another broken egg.
Why? They've got Louisiana
It's
food?
all Louisiana.
Okay.
Really? The owners are from Louisiana.
Okay, I'll have to try
It
that
is
out.
unbelievable food. Unbelievable.
Even though I'm from Louisiana, I don't like crawfish. I'm a trader
Plenty
in
of
that
crawfish.
regard. But I like my
I
shrimp,
can't
my
stand
gumbo.
crawfish.
That would be your
boudin.
LSU mug, I see too.
All right, LSU grad, went to school there, so big LSU fan. So supporting the Tigers, definitely a big LSU fan.
And tell us about your business.
So I do health insurance. My name is Gannon Champagne. I'm with John Galt Insurance. I do group benefits and health insurance. For companies 5 or more, we can definitely have a conversation and help out. A lot of the bigger firms, like the Browns of Browns and other big names, a lot of times they don't want to talk to you to at least 50 or 100 or more. We can go big if need be, but we really focus on that small to middle-sized business, that 5 to 100, 5 to 50 group. That's kind of our wheelhouse right now. So we help companies find solutions for their health insurance offerings. When you're a company, you have to offer benefits to your employees to keep good people, and we help the small and mid-sized companies with their benefits to try to compete and keep good people.
And what's happening? What's the trend now in health insurance? I was talking to a friend of ours. She had surgery. She didn't want to go to the hospital because she knew her copay, but she had a 20% copay. If she waited and waited, and then she got really sick and she had to have an emergency surgery. Is that the norm of what health insurances are like
It
right
can
now?
be. There's all these little fees, right? We all pay a premium, and we would like to imagine that this is all we pay and we're set, but that is often not the case. There's little hidden charges in there for hospital visits, for certain surgeries, certain x-rays, MRIs. So a lot of times that is the case. What we like to do is, not always, but usually, we can eliminate a lot of those miscellaneous charges. We kind of have a strategy where we saw a high deductible plan, and then we come in with what they call a secondary insurance, also known as a GAP plan, similar to Medicare GAP, but a little bit different, and it covers those small fees. So by doing it that way, you often save money on your total premium. You have 2 cards and 2 charges, but 8 times out of 10, that saves you money, and you get better coverage by doing it that way. The trick is you have to remember there's 2 cards. A lot of people forget there's 2 cards, and it becomes a little bit of a headache to get
All right,
reimbursed.
so back up. We've got regular health insurance.
Correct.
And then there's a gap that covers, like, what are the small fees?
So for instance, like when I worked at Lowe's, I worked for Lowe's for many years. I had good insurance. I had a good deal like the X-ray. I had to pay like a $200, $300 copay or fee for that. With a lot of our plans, we can eliminate that because that smaller plan covers the small stuff. And because they're not on the hook for the bigger stuff, they're willing to pay those small fees compared to the bigger company that's on the hook for the big stuff.
Interesting.
So
Now,
that's
let
kind of
me ask a question. You got a business owner, and there's 2 business owners, and they're upper in age, above 50 years of age. And then their employees are in 20 to 30 range. Does that make a difference in the price of the plan?
Yeah, the price of the plan is dependent on each group. So the ages and the genders matter, and sometimes the history of the group matters too. A lot of plans, there's health questions involved, and some plans, there's no health questions involved. When there's no health questions involved, it's what they call community rated, based off of the age, the gender, and that's it. When you go what we call level funded or self-funded, they ask health questions. So if you're a relatively average to healthy group, it's usually better to do that way because they see a history and they can kind of look to see what the claims are, and that helps you get better rates usually. Now, if you're a group that's older on average or a high-risk group, you're usually better to go fully insured, which means you're guaranteed insured for a price because it's based off the national population, based off of purely age and gender. So ages do matter and histories do matter.
But do you have different, suppose that the older group has to do one specific and then the other ones, can you mix and match groups, or is it just one standard
So,
group?
for instance, if you have one company you can offer multiple plans, and the rates will go up depending on the plan and what your group looks like, but you can't offer 2 plans. We do that quite a bit. If you have what they call management carve-out, sometimes the management will want like a little bit more lucrative plan and then a regular plan for the other associates. So you can do that. There are ways to do that and maneuver. And as a company, by normal Florida law, you're supposed to pay 50% of that premium as your contribution for it to be a group plan. But what you only have to pay is 50%. So if you offer 2 plans and one's lower price, even if somebody lets go with the richer, more lucrative plan, you only have to pay 50% of the minimum one that you offered. So that's a little loophole as well that some companies theoretically can do to save money too.
Interesting. How'd you get involved doing health insurance?
I worked retail for many years. I worked for Lowe's selling appliances, had enough of that fun. Lowe's is a good company, just tired of working weekends and nights. It's always hard, on the social life. So I got an opportunity with this agency, being trained by a very good gentleman by the name of Jim Hopgood. Jim used to own his own agency for years up north and has over 30 years of experience. So I'm being trained by a good guy, and they gave me an opportunity. So far, I like it.
And how'd you enjoy the networking beast?
It was good. Normally it's good, and I like meeting people, but I have to say, love Networking Beast. They do a very good job with connecting people. However, this room was kind of crowded and very loud. They had a guitar guy, and I left a little early. I just couldn't hear a lot of people. It was kind of loud with the music. But overall, Networking Beast does a very good job. I recommend people go to the Networking Beast. I've met lots of contacts there. And I do recommend Networking Beast for sure.
It's the trading of cards at the Networking Beast. We try to talk to somebody. We had to bring them here because it's impossible
But
to
that's
hear
how we met
anybody.
Brenda also. That's how we met all our guests yesterday, and we had the guitar booth guy in last week.
It's almost impossible to talk when you're there
Yes.
because you can't hear nothing. So we bring them in. Now we're sending crews out to go to the dealers, and then we bring them in here, which is a little bit different.
Depends on the event. Some events have the music playing, which in theory sounds nice, but when you're in a small room, it's so loud. It's hard to hear, to be honest, like you said. Yeah.
You can't hear at all.
Brenda, how'd you enjoy the event?
I really enjoyed the event. I really enjoy networking. Again, but what he was saying, it was really loud, but I was able to make a lot of connections with a lot of people, because when you're talking to people, they don't realize how the component of credit repair and debt solution is so essential. And there are some people that don't have credit or debt solution issues. They may be looking for investments. And so that's where the Note University and becoming a loan officer plays into it. And so when I spoke to one of your assistants, and she just kept talking, she kept raving about how, she's been working with you for 6 months, and she enjoyed, the experience that you allowed her. And I was like, I got to meet this woman that she works for and network
we have
with.
an amazing crew, and most of our crew come from the local universities, and they're here on internships, and they learn and they go out. And this is the first time we've actually sent that many to a networking event, and they loved it.
Well, we've decided that we're having crews. We call it the Team Amplify. They go out, and this is all brought on by Curly, one of the kids that I spoke to from Lynn University, to go out and do segments on different businesses. And your information is vital because the summer's coming, which changes the equation of the businesses to stay open in Boca, and you want to still be competitive to offer opportunities for your employees, whether it's insurance. Buying houses is always a challenge, and there's no time like the present. I used to tell people, when is the time to buy a house? Yesterday, and get on the plan. So all of these networking parties are really ingenious. So we're sending them out to go and meet the community, because the community has to learn more about what you can do and what you can offer them, the things that you do and the other ladies do as well. You got to go out and get it, because everybody right now is with their arms crossed. Are they going to pass the debt ceiling? Am I going to get my Social Security check? What's going to happen? The war in the Ukraine. You got all this negative stuff hitting you in the face every single freaking morning. So where do you find good news? It's good to know that you're offering the plans. I didn't know you can mix 2 different levels. I think that's vital.
It's a business of 5 or more.
Well, technically it's 2 or more to be a group as long as it's not a husband and wife. But for us to really help out, 5 is kind of the minimum we can really help out. We'll be happy to help a smaller company of 3 people. But for us to really be worth your time and our time, 5 or more is like the bare minimum.
Okay.
And then when you get to 10 or more, that's when our magic really works. We usually say, 20% a lot of times. Once you get to 10 people, that's kind of where our knowledge and magic comes into play.
And how do people reach you? What's your best contact information?
Phone number, 954-440-2896. That's 954-440-2896. Also have an Instagram account. I haven't done much with it. Health Insurance Superman. That's Health Insurance Superman. And I haven't done it yet, but my plan is to maybe get like a Superman tape and do little skits on Instagram.
Champagne Superman.
Champagne Superman. There
Pop
you
the
go.
cork. There you go.
Unbelievable.
All right, well, thank
And
you so much.
Where is the locale? Can people visit your office?
You can come visit us. We're in Fort Lauderdale off of Commercial Boulevard, kind of near where Fort Lauderdale turns into Tamarack. But you can also reach me by phone number or Instagram. On my emails also, you can email me directly to my personal email, GannonChampagne@gmail.com. That's GannonChampagne@gmail.com. And I will get back to you ASAP.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it's important. The summer's coming. You got some decisions to make. Give them a call. It doesn't cost you anything to find out what you can offer, what you could do, what you could put in play. And if you don't do a decision today, maybe in 6 months you do, and they're willing. It's better to have somebody in the inside than to have somebody who doesn't even know who you are or what you do for a living.
Got to get the information together.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to go to commercial break. On the other side of this 1 o'clock hour, let's see, we've got some music and we got the ladies in the back of the theater.
Is
so-
that the view over there? It looks like the view over there.
I don't know, and we got the view. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Ant Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website, www.artrepro.net.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Melberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Melberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty rich and pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We are at the Boca Center here in the the heart of Boca, where it has everything you could ever possibly think to need to have yourself a really great weekend. It has restaurants that are all behind me that have everything from Mexican to an even really great wine bar at 60 Vines. It also has shops lined around the rest of the strip in case you want to go do a little shopping after your dinner. So today we're at the Healthy Spot here in Boca, and needless to say, they are definitely the healthy way to indulge. They've been open since February 2021, so just over 2 years. They have smoothie bowls as well for anyone who doesn't want your traditional smoothie or protein shake, but also proteinized coffee to fulfill every need you could possibly need.
It's not working.
Welcome back. No, my bell is breaking apart. That's the glue you put on. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Some people are writing into me, yes, you're always invited to come in. Don't wait to get an invitation because, you know, things get caught up in the mix. You just come down.
I think they're having a party back there. I need to check in with my spiritual gurus at the other side of the theater.
I didn't realize that you brought the view in.
They brought themselves. The angels brought the view in. So we've got a full round table over there. Caroline, I'm going to let you make the introductions. We've got Brenda Carter, who we spoke with earlier from Deck Cleanse, and Carolina Ayala of Mindset for Success, which aired today at 11 o'clock.
Every Thursday at 11 o'clock we have the show, Mindset for Success. Check it out.
Who did you interview today?
We have Satonia Baker. She's with us today. She's
Thank you for
the
having
owner
me.
of The Beautiful Works. She's a producer, she's a property manager, and many, many more skills with her. So tell us about you.
Again, thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Again, my name is Satonia Baker. I am the founder of The Beautiful Works. We are an experiential marketing agency, and we manage commercial real estate asset properties, commercial properties. My background, I have over 20 years experience managing global luxury brands, and my sweet spot has been to create experiences that foster the art of communicating and connecting. We heard a lot about that today with the networking event, and pretty much when you had the opportunity to come and experience, I would connect people from all different industries. You never know what type of connections and business that would come out of it. But having that experience and having those events and experiences in different spaces, it was a natural progression to expand my agency into commercial property management. I actually had the encouragement of two of the ladies here, Carolina and Medea, to start my agency. And you just never know, people come into your life for a reason, for seasons, and so grateful for that encouragement and empowerment. So I want to take advantage of the opportunity to share that. But it's a beautiful thing. We are The Beautiful Works. We are essential to building, and we are very intentional about all of our efforts and how we engage with our clients, how we engage with our tenants, and we care about the community. We focus on properties that have historical significance and cultural relevance. A space like this would be ideal for our company.
Why would we be of historical relevance?
It's historical significance or cultural relevance. So when you think about culture, when you think about art, when you think about the creatives that you have in this space and what you are doing to preserve heritage, whether it's, obviously we in South Florida are a melting pot of different cultures and heritages. So that is our intention. So we are storytellers, we preserve those stories, we capture those stories, and that's just a part of our everyday work.
I like this
You have to tell her about our studio, though.
No, you tell her.
So in this studio, maybe I didn't get a chance to tell you the whole story as to why we're here. Right? We talk about angelic intervention, and the studio is that. 6 months before we actually moved here, I was taking a dance class next door for a women's empowerment group. We were doing Pound and Pour. So you worked out, and then you got to drink. And we were in a little studio. We were very happy in our studio, right? And I thought, dare to dream, if we ever had a studio, this would be amazing. Not knowing anything, we went about our way, and 6 months later, we had to leave where we were. Long story short. So we came in here, we looked, and it had been empty for 21 years. Like, the rooms hadn't been built out, there wasn't a ceiling, they were replacing the toilet. And landlord said, I don't even need to rent this studio. But because you know my daughter, I have to show it to you. And we said, no, no, no. We can't afford it, it's too expensive. And we left. And we came back, and it was so big. We were with, Teddy was here, she says, what are we gonna do with this space? We said, well, we're gonna co-share with somebody else, because we never thought we would fill it. But we couldn't afford it, so we left. And then we went to go sign a lease on another property. It was Halloween, because I was in my costume. We were doing a live shoot. We had to be out November 1st, which was the next day. And our attorney calls the minute before we go on air and says, you can't sign this lease, it's a bad lease. He says, what are we gonna do? We said, we have to come back to this property. We had no other options. We had to be out the next day. And on our way back here, the radio station called us and said, we just sold your airtime for $150,000. So we didn't have to worry about not affording it, because now we had no studio and we had no radio time.
We had nothing.
We had nothing. We were on a car ride from one place to another. So we called the landlord. We said, we'll take it. So by the grace of God, I told you, well, we had to get hit in the head 3 times, media, before I actually listened to the voices. We signed a lease here. Everything has been, our landlord's been amazing. And 3 months later, COVID hit. But because, by the grace of God, we had the studio, we were able to stay open under the media umbrella, but we didn't have to rely on anybody else opening the door for us. We had our own space.
And the place that we left went out with COVID. It was done. They still shut down. They shut down. We were gypsies. We didn't have a place to put our stuff. So the landlord let us use that room where we call Studio B. We put the whole thing in there, remember?
And we went on the road for 2 weeks.
And we went on the road with Teddy. Man, she got to light a candle for that kid, because I'm going to tell you, it was hard to do a show on the road for 2 weeks complete. We came in here and we put a shower curtain on the door, on the wall, to take pictures. That was it. There was nothing else in here.
It was Friendsgiving.
And I said to her, let's cancel Friendsgiving. I says, I've had enough. Can we take a couple of days off? 100 people showed up. Wow. And they came with food and drink, and they said, don't worry about it, we're gonna get through this.
But here's the historical significance. The sign outside, we tried to get a sign for 3 years. And for whatever reason, we're not supposed to change that sign. It's supposed to be homage to Little Pond Family Theater. So we leave it for cultural significance of what it is, because every time we went to get a sign, something happened. Right. So we said the angels want us to keep it that way. It stays that way. We don't try anymore, which is why no one even knows we're here, because we don't even have a sign, but it's because we're not supposed to.
And tell them who owned it.
So Little Pond Family Theater was owned by Ariana Grande's mom. Wow. So this is where she and Kendra Erica got their initial training.
This is where they
right
sang.
Here.
This is where they learned to sing.
Yep. So all those funky things you see in doors opening and closing, there's a lot of good energies in here.
A lot of stuff happens.
He just ran out.
Right.
So there's our historical and
Right,
cultural
and-
significance to our studio.
And that's a part of what we do. We help, extract that information to tell the story from a public relations standpoint. That's something, that history, that's what, people should know that. And it helps bring people through your doors. It helps you, attract customers. And as creatives, and when you think of this space, whether it's, the various contractors that you need, we help curate that entire group so that you have all of your needs met, the front of the house and the back of the house.
I gotta tell you, I need more room.
You do. I can concur.
This landlord showed me 2 bays down, twice the size of this, has to be built out. Wow. So it's a 2-year project. And he looked at me, he says, Freddie, if you want to get involved, we'll do it. So there was another radio station that was going to come in here, and we were looking about building it out and making it a radio television studio. And it's still there. So, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow?
If someone knocks on the door today,
I'm out of here. I'm going to run. But it's great to know, you use the word creatives, and ever since we've been here, this is what this is, a melting pot of creatives. The producers, which are no longer interns when they enter those doors, they're no longer school interns, now they belong to me, and the producers, the creative mind of what they do is amazing. And every day they show me another, it could be language, it could be words, it could be video, it could be working here at night till 9 o'clock with me. They go out, they come in here, and they edit until 9 o'clock the way Ryan did. And they're so focused on what they want to do. I completely hear what you're saying, because we should give credit to things around us. We should appreciate them more. And then you put this whole thing together. What is it called? The Works?
The Beautiful Works.
But the interesting concept is, I think property management, like condo associations, property management, you know, like your outdoor exterior, but you do that and then you pay credit to the arts as well, the cultural significance.
Absolutely. It's a story. Everyone has a story. Every space, every inch of this earth has a story to tell. And when we walk on the ground of these various places, you know, there were ancestors and forefathers that came before us. And what often happens is, and I can speak a little bit about this, in my previous career, you know, I was responsible for telling a story of, you know, families, hundreds and hundreds of years that created brands and had the opportunity to travel internationally. And so telling those stories, you were able to go to these places and see the architecture, and you were able to see, you know, the buildings and walk on the cobblestone, and you were able to see what it took as far as craftsmanship to build these towns and cities. And when you're here in the United States, everything is torn down and built up again. So just the beauty of being able to walk into a space that's really been preserved for you, you know, even if it's just for the time for you to build it up, to go out and move into another space 2 years later. We do a lot of destroying. And so when we have to tear things down, what happens to those stories? And, you know, it's often said, you remember what you see. What is the expression again? I can't think of it right now. But if you don't see it, you forget about it. And so that's why it's important to capture those stories, to be able to document them and share them, because how are the generations that follow us, how are they going to know? How are they going to learn? Technology, which is beautiful, has taken so much of our time and our space, that this is the world that they know. So it's not that they don't appreciate what we have to offer, but you know, their eye is on what their prize is now. So we have to, you know, take them back to teach them lessons, and we have to share these stories, and that's why.
So what's your
it's very
background?
important.
Because what you do with spaces is what we do with souls or people, right? It's spotlighting the stories of where people came from, but you do this with spaces. So what is your background?
Well, before I did it with spaces, my background is sales and marketing, but very much a spiritual foundation. And so when I think about my beginnings, having the opportunity to be cultivated at a cultural arts center. My father is a director of the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center. And when he was first hired, I was about 12 years old. And I had the opportunity to answer the phones at the Cultural Arts Center, and no one knew that they were talking to, I wasn't even a teenager then, I was 12. And so having that opportunity, I was able to practice using my voice, and I was immersed in the arts, dance, ballet, African dance, tap dance, and just having that space to be nurtured, that was my environment. And so my father, who very instrumental from a spiritual standpoint, arts and culture. My mother, who is has a doctorate from Harvard, and her background is higher education. So having both of those foundations, and being one of 4 children, I didn't always get what I wanted, and most people thought because I was the only girl that I was spoiled, which was not true at all. But it allowed me the opportunity to utilize my imagination to create the things that I wanted, because they weren't going to just be given to me. And so being able to create, being able to be artistic, Those are the building blocks for. There isn't anything that I can't do. There are things that I choose not to do or I don't want to do, but those are the building blocks in the environment that I had
What an
to do this work.
amazing
Thank you.
background. So Carolina always brings an amazing guest, and she never says anything. She always sits like that. She sits there and she smiles like that. Carolina, how did you meet these ladies?
Well, I know Satonia long time ago.
At least 20 years.
At least 20
At
years.
least 20 years,
Yes,
yeah.
at least 20 years.
Is your mic on,
Can you hear
Carolina?
me now?
Do you see a light on there?
Yes, it's on.
Okay.
Number 5.
She's on 5.
Yes. I know her maybe like 20 years ago. And through her, I met Media. That we also know each other maybe at least 10
Yeah, I
years
think-
old
yeah.
ago. Yeah. We have Media today also. She's transformational coach and an artist. And I'm going to let her talk to you.
Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Satonia. Thank you, Don, Freddie, for having us here today. Thank you, Brenda, for being here. Thank you. Wow, this has been truly angelic, I feel like, guidance on so many levels. My name is Media Joy. I'm a transformational coach and an artist. And my passion is truly creating safe spaces like this, where adults and children alike can discover more of themselves, their creative genius, more of their love for themselves. Just places where we can dream. And I know me and Freddie talked about dreaming. Just as adults, I think dreaming sometimes gets a bad connotation, kind of like when you look at school, you know, like when you see a child daydreaming, we say, stop daydreaming. But I actually believe that we need to dream more, because when we take time to dream, we allow ourselves to tap into, you know, this truth that resides within each and one of us. But sometimes we're just scared of kind of acknowledging it. And I think through dreaming is when not only are we connecting to higher realms, and I know we talked a little bit earlier about this, but we are actually creating a new reality for ourselves. And I didn't know the power of dreaming until I started studying neuroscience, studying a little bit of quantum physics, and I'm just like, wow, so dreaming has a real scientific purpose. But I was never taught this in schools. In fact, I was taught the quite the opposite growing up in Russia. Like in USSR at the time, in the, you know, communist Soviet Russia, dreaming was not a thing you did. That was absolutely a no-no. You should be following your directions. Dreaming is for losers, kind of like that. So I grew up with that mentality where dreaming it's not for you. It's for everybody else, but it's not for you. And I think, as you know, both of Carolina and Satonia, I have to say, acknowledge this, have been truly inspirations on my spiritual journey, because 7 years ago, I was a very different person. And Satonia actually has been an incredible teacher of embodiment of what a spiritual being in corporate America can look like. Because up until I met Satonia, I didn't know that you could be a spiritual being in corporate America. That was not even a concept that I had ever, known about. And through Satonia, I met Carolina, and I got introduced to energy healing, pranic healing, all these aspects that, growing up, I thought I knew this was real, but society taught me that this is woo-woo-wah-wah. This is for, the hippies. This is the new age, however people described it. And mind you, I grew up in Russia, but when I was 10, we moved to Sweden. So in Sweden, this was called new age. In Syria, where my roots are also from, this is actually called, it's interesting. I think in Syria, it's much more accepted because there is a stronger connection to earth and to ancestors. But I think in a lot of societies that have been impacted by colonization, this is looked upon as hippie, woo-wah-wah, and this is not real. But in fact, this is so real. And I was just sharing earlier, science states that we only see, 2%, there's different numbers, but anywhere from 2 to 20% of the actual world. So that means the majority of the world, we don't perceive with our quote unquote senses, but we do. We are all multidimensional beings.
Can you imagine? I'm sounding like you now. If our dreams are not us projecting what we want, but the things that are actually set to happen, but we're only seeing them now. But yet, that's
you
where
mean
they're
like it
supposed to be.
happened and then you catch up?
Yeah, that.
Oh, that. Oh, okay.
Kind of makes sense
See,
to me
because
now.
it ain't dreams, it's creatives.
Yes.
If you replace the word dreamer with creative, all of a sudden people become more open to accepting.
Or maybe it's, what does Sally say? It's this time continuum, but so you're seeing what's already happened, but you think it's a dream and you're going to create it, but it's actually there. You just got to get to that time.
And it's how you get there.
Right?
Yes, and I think, energy healing taught me, right? We believe that what we see matter is what it is, but the truth is energy creates matter, right? Matter is the slowest form of energy. So if you think about it in that way, and like Einstein said that everything is energy, what we see is the slowest form of energy. So there are different levels of energy, and when we dream, we are in a different energetic field, and that energetic field has different languages, different rules, and we were not taught this language in schools. And I think that's, for me, became such a strong passion when I started discovering this. I'm just like, you meant to tell me this is real and nobody taught me this? I am 35 years and I'm just now discovering it. So when I started learning this and my life started changing and my mindset started shifting and I was noticing these huge transformations in my life of how I was talking to myself, because now I'm becoming responsible for what I'm saying because, wow, I understand that every word has a frequency, right? Every thought has a frequency. Now, oh wow, I have to be accountable for my thoughts because these thoughts send out different electromagnetic frequencies in the world. So if I'm sitting here and saying, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm just gonna receive more of that. So once I started becoming aware of all this, and these two ladies were very instrumental in my awakening, I just wanted to share it with others because it became like, I can't hold this to myself. Like, it transformed my life. So that's how I honestly became very passionate about literally certifying myself in everything that was helping me because I wanted to bring it to others, to both children and adults, and specifically children, because I believe that if we start teaching this at a young age, what an incredible society we can create where there are no limitations. There are literally infinite possibilities. And I know I shared this with you earlier that for the last 5 years, I've had the privilege and honor working with a beautiful nonprofit called Silent Victims of Crime. And we focus on empowerment of children and specifically children whose parents are incarcerated. And we have children from age 5 to 18. And when we started meditating with the children during COVID, what I noticed was that, wow, you don't have to teach children how to meditate because they are in that state up until, I think, 12, until you're 12 years. They're in that theta state, the alpha state. So you don't even, it's not meditation for them. It's where they are at. And when we meditate with the kids, it's so interesting because, I was taught how to meditate with adults first. And adults, the meditation is a little bit different because you close your eyes, you quiet. And with the children, I mean, they are in the world. They're whatever picture you're painting through the meditation, they're in there. And they're like, oh yeah, I smell apples. And I see Mars. And yes, and there's a planet coming at me. And they're just so vivid in their meditation. They're fully in another world. And you just have to go with them on that journey, wherever they're going, and not limit them. So I think even the meditation, it's interesting because I always thought that teaching meditation is one way, but what the children are teaching me is that, no, we're already here. You have to come on to this side. And they will take you on a journey on their own, and it's beautiful. And
well, you're going to get from point A to point B. It's already happened. The question here is, when you get to point B, how are you going to get there? What kind of person are you going to be to get there? Because the journey will teach you and offer you all the opportunities to raise all of your awareness, your frequencies. This is what I love about kids, because kids don't have the adult mind yet, but they don't have the fears and all of the baggage that we add, all of the all of that, cupping that candle until it burns out. And if you go to the next level with that in mind, then you're going to get there and you're going to learn that next lesson. That's really what's going to happen. You want to get there on the journey. You want to be able to lead, liberated to feel the things that you feel. And then you go to point C and point D and it just keeps growing and going. really, I find amazing that some political leaders in this world never got out of their own way, and they still don't. And they still haven't gotten it, or have they? And they know that the manipulation of people comes through the media. They know that manipulations come through actions. They know that fear is another. Fear is the strongest frequency that you can put upon yourself. And if somebody learns to manipulate that, they're going to keep you always suppressed.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about how your spirituality has helped level up businesses. Because there's usually two schools of thought. Your spiritual woo-woo or your corporate business-minded. But you ladies, and we're going to bring Gannon into this too, have changed the playing field. You've brought them together to help level up business, even when your spirituality has heightened. So more to come on the other side of this commercial break.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Do you own a timeshare? At first, maybe it seemed like a great investment, but then you realized a lot of the promises made to you were simply not true. A little later, you started receiving the monthly maintenance fees and additional associated bills they failed to mention when you signed the agreement. And now their fees keep rising. Your times to actually use the timeshare keep shrinking, and the resort has no interest in letting you out of the agreement. Your vacation dream has turned into a timeshare nightmare. An overwhelming, never-ending financial obligation that will fall on your children after you're gone. And it seems as if there is no way out. Well, here's some great news. There is a way out. The Timeshare Exit Hotline has helped hundreds of people just like you. Desperate people who thought they were stuck in this burden forever. Although most professionals in the timeshare industry are legitimate, there are those that use aggressive, sometimes even misleading sales tactics to try and trick innocent people into signing their lives away. We've heard many stories of people who have been lied to and others who were kept in a room for over 10 hours, not provided water or anything to eat, pressured until they were exhausted. These people finally signed a contract just to get out of there. If you're one of the unfortunate people who have been roped into a timeshare nightmare and feel there is no way out, call the number on your screen right now. When we take your case, it means we are highly confident that we can win. We'll provide you with an affordable, one-time fixed fee and our 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Now you don't have to face arrogant, aggressive salespeople alone. We're experts in consumer protection, real estate, and contract law. Even if they bullied you into an agreement, rest assured they're not going to bully us. So don't wait. Call us right now. Even if you've tried another company that failed you, call us. Our track record of successful negotiations speaks for itself. The call is free, the information is free, and there is absolutely no obligation. A single phone call could free you of this burden. So don't wait. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline right now.
Has your heater or air conditioner busted? Appliance broken? Computer crashed? Then you need an ARW home warranty. Home system and appliance repairs and replacements can cause stress and cost you thousands of dollars per year. With an A+ BBB rating and a top-rated home warranty company on Consumer Affairs and Trustpilot, ARW Home provides superior service, featuring the industry's lowest service call fee. ARW Home has warranty plans that cover your kitchen and laundry appliances, heating and air conditioning systems, electrical and plumbing systems, and much more. Call 800-235-1584 to customize your plan. Plus, ARW has partnered with Azurion to protect your new and used tablets, laptops, TVs, and other home tech from accidental damage and wear and tear. All plans come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-235-1584 now for a free quote. That's 800-235-1584.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-796-1182. 800-796-1182. 800-796-1182. That's 800-796-1182.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-485-8801. 800-485-8801. That's 800-485-8801.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Ask him. Yeah, we're back.
He's spilling water outside.
Yeah, he's probably spreading it all over the place.
So more to come on this Thursday. I love all these empowered women. Holy cow, is that a powerful room back there?
Mm-hmm. It's a whole lot of kinetic energy.
You know, you and I, when we sit and talk to somebody, you always have one side of it, and then there's always two sides to what you and I look at.
There's always three sides.
And that too. And then there's that side in the corner. But you were talking to Media Joy about spirituality. Mm-hmm. And then there's the physical sense of what people see, right? You have to see to believe, some people. And then there's others that believe before they have to see. But in corporate America, everyone's in this essence of money. I need to see it. It's money. It's wealth. I have rent to pay. I've got overhead. But can I still be spiritual and have an awakening and have this same business? What if my spiritual awakening changes while I have this business? Does my business model change? Is my business going to change? So I'm going to present that to media because we started it, and then I want you to bring in the other ladies on this conversation.
So thank you for that question, and I will answer it very honestly, and I will also say that I'm still in the healing process of what I'm about to share, so bear with me. Yes, I was in corporate America for 13 years, and as I had my own spiritual awakening with the help of these two guides and my hubby Wesley, what I noticed is that my values started shifting, right? And as I was trying to make space for what was happening inside of me on the outside. And I think at some point it worked for like a little bit of time, but I ended up staying a little bit longer in the space where I was no longer honoring my values. And literally, you know, I'm not, because I have to look at it as that I decided to stay in that space. Nobody was forcing me. Nobody was holding a gun to my head. I decided to stay in that space because I was afraid to take a leap of faith of what I knew. Because for me, the American dream was corporate America. So here I was living in that dream and having this awakening. And I no longer felt happy in that space I was in because I couldn't be fully myself. The parts of me that were now coming out were now longer being, I guess, wanted in that space. That would be, you know, a very real thing to say. And my body started shutting down. Literally, my left side of the body started shutting down. My doctor told me I was heading for a heart attack at age 41. And that, for me, was like a big red light, right? That my body was signaling to me like, hey, we're letting you know, like, you are ready for the next step. You have done the work, and you need a bigger space to expand in because you are a different person than you were 7 years ago. 7 years ago, you were a person who didn't believe in yourself that much. You were saying constantly to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And now that you have changed that perception about yourself, you have changed that internal dialogue, you need a different space. And I wasn't honoring that, and my body full on started shutting down. And I was forced to leave because it was literally between life or death. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to leave because at the time we were making strides, specifically in the diversity initiatives in corporate America. And I felt that, you know, like you feel like a soldier almost going in war trying to make something right. But the truth is that a lot of the systems that we are abiding by today was never really rooted in creation of growth, expansion, spirituality, love, compassion. You know, a lot of them are survival based.
But can you grow a business?
Can you grow? Yeah, not.
And be spiritual.
Yes, you can do that.
Is there a business that you're shaking your head?
Yes, yes, you can do that, but I don't think you can do that within the current, like doing it inside corporate America is very hard based on the old values. You can do it out anywhere where your new values will be accepted and celebrated, you can grow that business.
Well, I got a question.
Okay.
Because if you use the word spirituality, it's one thing. But in every business in corporate America, we have team play. And everybody wants to be a teamer. Everybody wants to strive together like a baseball team or a football team. Everybody, now spirituality is within, team is without. So if we present it differently, if we use, you know, the problem is we get caught up with words. Because you're supposed to be a certain way. And you're supposed to be a certain way. And you're supposed to be a certain, there's no such thing. These are things that are made up so that we can put life in boxes. And if you live in a box, corporate America is a box, then you're going to end up hurting yourself, right? So my question to you is, if we remove the word spirituality, can we be team members? Can we play on the same team to rise a business?
Yes, I truly believe that.
But we're still spiritual.
I believe spiritual is what everybody is spiritual, right?
Correct.
Spiritual being, correct? I think there's just, in the current structure, it hasn't been, the space for that spiritual aspect of oneself hasn't been honored or created. And I think we're the ones, I truly believe, like sitting here today, we are the ones to create that. We are creating a new earth. We're creating a new structure where business and spirituality are one, because can't be separate.
So I have to ask Brenda, because you are a mom on welfare, right? A single mom raising your kids.
Right.
In a place where everyone would be like, there is no coming back from that. You're on welfare. Most people are going to say, this is my story, this is my life. But
No.
something in you said there's more to life. Do you have a mic?
Yes,
Okay.
there were several, many things. From day one, I was always the go-getter when I was in high school. So that people were shocked that I actually got pregnant in my 20s. But what kept me going was my daughter. What kept me going was my friends. What kept me going was church, my network, my life group, the people that would kept speaking life into me. And so I wanted more. I wanted to give my daughter generational wealth. So I had to show her, hey, put in the work. Get off of welfare. So I showed her, you don't have to depend on the government. And what people don't understand is they get stuck on the system, and they feel that it's not set up to live on. It's set up to keep you down, and people don't understand it. And once I understood, hey, snap out of it, Brenda. If you want more, go after it. And so once that handkerchief was pulled out from under me, I had to stand on my bootstraps, and I had to provide for this young girl. And I remember borrowing money from my employer just to move into a better neighborhood, because the neighborhood I was in, there was constantly shooting. There was constantly chaos. And to give my daughter a better life, he loaned me $1,000. And I remember for an entire year, I was getting food from a food pantry. Well, actually, it's called, not really a food pantry. It was a nonprofit called the Sheridan House. For an entire year, my family never knew I had no money for food, but I had money to keep a roof over my head. I had money to make sure I had enough money to pay all the bills, so that we could stay in a good neighborhood, so that my child not have to worry about if she walks out the door, she's gonna get shot.
But do you know, Brenda, that when you were going through the bad and then you found a way to make it work, that all came from you. See, the constant about everything you just told us, which is a great story, great. The constant is you. It's always been there. The awakening, and it's funny because we got a rug in front of us that says awaken. The awakening was that you came to the realization that in you, you can do anything.
You gotta want it. You gotta be
decided to
consistent.
choose
You gotta be hungry for it.
But that's the life.
Hold your mic closer.
Oh, that is the true value of life, is to want it, to learn to say, I'm gonna go get it, and not to be caught up what everybody else thinks of it. You know, I remember my mother was on food stamps when we went to Puerto Rico, because my father had lost his business, and we had no money, we had no food, we had nothing. So we had to learn how to grow stuff out of the ground. So he used to call me Farmer Fred, because I was a concrete jungle baby. I was from New York. I didn't know how to plant stuff. And I look at G-Man, he knows a lot about plants. And I remember my father trying to teach me these things. And we had to survive. And we found a way. And you found a way.
Mm-hmm.
But the constant is, it's always in you. It ain't gone nowhere. And it grows, if anything. So your daughter has a good leader to follow. But you originally have always been there.
And I also had I had my mother. She was a Haitian immigrant. She didn't know how to read or write. I saw how she struggled. She struggled to keep a roof over our head. She struggled to keep us in a nice neighborhood. And here her daughter turns around and moves into a bad neighborhood that she taught her, hey, don't be like me. Go to school. Make something of yourself. This is something that is embedded in the Haitian community, to either become a doctor, the lawyer. And I was a disappointment. And so I think for me, the biggest thing was when I got that degree. And she saw me walking down that aisle, that to pick up, and that did something to her. And I said, okay, well, I got this degree. Now, what am I going to do with this degree? Now I'm going to move up corporate ladder. And that's what I've been doing. And then I said, okay, now it's time for me to start becoming a homeowner. I made that happen 3 years ago at 46. So I was like, okay, now I have generational wealth. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to start this business. I went and I started my LLC last year to start my business. So now I'm like, okay, I want to take the information and help impact other people and help other people to do what I did. You don't, and tell people you don't have to be here. You can be up there. You can leave a generational wealth. You can leave something to your children. You can show your kids how to invest, how they can do better and move up in the world, and not have to depend on a 9-to-5, but be their own boss.
See, but you have a story to tell, and that's why, Sitonia, I told you, what I love doing here is bringing out people's stories like you do with Spaces. Because you could sit here and we could have never asked your story. You could have sit here and said, I'm with Debt Cleanse, you should work with me and we will help you cleanse your debt. As you say, punto, done. And that would have been great.
Right.
But it's your story that's compelling, that you're going to inspire so many women just like yourself to say, you know what, if Brenda can do it, I can do it. If she can believe in herself to move her family around, then I can do it. And that's what I think makes you so special. It's your story and your perseverance.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you sharing your story, and you're surrounded
Listen,
by such powerful women.
Listen, I'm a testimony of what I've been through.
It's
I have
amazing.
childhood trauma. I've been through so much, but I said I will not stop until I've achieved every goal. And most importantly, that I have left a lasting impact and that I help other women and men. So every time I go to these networking events, and a woman tells me something that they lack, hey, no, why don't you check out this? You know what I learned about? And I pour out just like someone poured into me.
You know, it's amazing that that your story comes at a time that we all need to learn and hear. You know, like Shakespeare says, let me drink from your wine of knowledge. It goes to show you went from borrowing money to owning a house. But that isn't the gift. The gift is that you want to show other people that it's okay to be you.
Yep.
And it's okay to change and to believe in the things you want to believe in. There's nothing wrong with that, no matter how much life throws at you. Because God will test you. You know, you say you have faith. He's going to say, okay, let me see it.
Yeah.
Not because he's going to say, let me see you. I'm going to prove it to me, because you're proving it to yourself. So I have to tell you, you have showed a lot of courage for sharing that.
Listen, if I can be an encouragement to any woman or man, I will. I will tell, hey, don't go that route. I mean, I've helped people. Like I've helped one of my good friends. She was illegal. And for years I kept saying, let me sponsor you. Let me sponsor you. And finally she was like, okay, I'll sponsor. And I sponsored her until she became legal. And then when she went to go buy her house, I walked her through what she needed to do. Hey, don't do this pitfall. Don't do that. Nope, don't do that. And she got her house this year.
Wow.
I got to tell you, ladies, we try to send messages to our producers because we want them to understand there is a better way, and they understand that no matter what they think, you can work yourself into a situation and make it better. No matter how much is raining, the sun is going to come out. Mm-hmm. And we have tried to show them through the shows, through what we do for a living. I mean, we get to do this every day. And we love to hear the stories because, you know, the bottom line here is, spiritual or not, truth never lies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And there is the truth of what life is all about. So learn it, understand it, take it in, be yourself.
When you talk about diversity, look at the table that you're all sitting around.
Absolutely. That's the view right there, Boca style, baby.
I think that is your diversity culture change right at that table, because every single one of you is from a different culture, which is pretty amazing and remarkable, right?
It's like they say, there's always in a box of chocolates, there's all sorts of stories. Right?
But I love that. I love that we get to help share your stories. And there's so much more on, unfortunately, but we do have to wrap up today's show. But I'm hoping tomorrow night they can continue this conversation.
They should do part
live
2.
on Oldies tomorrow night from 7:30 to
7:30
8:30 on
I'll
the
come
radio
back.
on 95.3, 96.9, and all of the stations from North Miami to Fort Pierce. So I think we're going to have a special edition of Mindset to Success for Success joining us tomorrow evening
Good
live
stuff,
on
yeah.
Oldies.
Good stuff. I welcome. I'm hoping the ladies can make it tomorrow. I know it is short notice, but we want to change up.
The view.
Yeah, we want to change
How
it
about
up.
that's the name of the show? Change your view.
Ooh, that works. That works.
I like it.
I like that.
Yeah, pretty good.
Bam.
Bam.
When luck meets your destiny. Gannon, thank you so much for joining us, ladies.
I hope you enjoy what you heard today.
Yeah, it was very good. Interesting topics for sure.
And to all of our crew, you are amazing.
Except for Josh.
Stay with us
He didn't
tonight
play.
because we are here
No, Josh, it's the end of the show.
all night until 8 o'clock. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m.
Don't
drive
be
time.
late.
Bye-bye.
Don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.